Hi, I'm Dr. Carlin Hardy. I'm just here for a few minutes just to talk about grant writing, mostly grant writing that has to do with programming. Specifically, if you want to look at programming for youth organizations, there are grants that you can write that have to do with funding a business. We'll talk about those a different time, but I just really want to say don't be afraid to write the grant. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, if you feel like you just don't know what to do or where to begin, I'm going to talk to you about 6 basic steps to grant writing, which is really just, step one is just figuring out your organizational background, being able to describe who you are and what it is that you do, and then being able to state the need that you have, which is the problem, whatever the problem is that you're trying to solve or the need that you're trying to solve. We can talk about that. And then just really being able to describe the project. What is it that you want the funders to cover? What will you do with the money? What does it look like? And how will you measure what the program is doing? So if you want an after-school program and you want the kids in the program to learn STEM, for example, what are the data points that you'll use to make sure that they're learning? So we'll talk about some of those things, and then how are you going to fund it? What kind of funding do you have now? And how much do you need? And do you need it for programming? Do you need it for salaries? Do you need it for supplies? So being able to identify exactly what you need the funding for. And then we'll look at your sustainability plan. If you didn't have the grants, how would you sustain the program? Or what's your plan for sustaining the program? And then we'll look at the evaluations. How do you plan to evaluate the program? Meaning, how do you know it's working? How do you know the things that you put in place are the right things? And then if you find out that they're not, what kind of changes will you make? And how will you move this program forward so that it can continue to get funding, and what's going to be your plan for being able to fund it later. So those are some of the things that we'll talk about in this basic grant writing program. So if you're interested, just stay tuned and stay on the YouTube page, and I'll bring more information.